Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 1, Text 11. Shri Bhagavan-uvacha Nibodhata tedamritam bravimi Māsūyitum devam arhasya prameyam Vayam bhavaste tata esha maharshir Vahama sarve vivashayasya dishtam. Shri Bhagavan-uvacha. The Supreme Person, Lord Brahma, said, Nibodha. Kindly hear with attention. Tata, my dear son. Idam, this. Ritam, true. Bravimi, I am speaking. Ma, not. Asuyitum, to be jealous of. Devam, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Arhasi, you ought. Aprameyam, who is beyond our experimental knowledge. Vayam, we. Bhavaha, Lord Shiva. Te, your. Tataha, Father. Eshaha, this. Maharishi, Narada. Vahamaha, carry out. Sarve, all. Vivashaha, unable to deviate. Yasya, of whom. Dishtam, the order. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Lord Brahma, the Supreme Person within this universe, said, My dear Priyavrata, kindly hear attentively what I shall say to you. Do not be jealous of the Supreme Lord who is beyond our experimental measurements. All of us, including Lord Shiva, your father, and the great sage Maharshi Narada, must carry out the order of the Supreme. We cannot deviate from his order. Please repeat. Lord Brahma, the Supreme Person within this universe, said, My dear Priyavrata, kindly hear attentively what I shall say to you. Do not be jealous of the Supreme Lord, who is beyond our experimental measurements. All of us, including Lord Shiva, your father, and the great sage Maharshi Narada, must carry out the order of the Supreme. We cannot deviate from his order. Purport. Of the 12 great authorities in devotional service, 4, Lord Brahma himself, his son Narada, Swayambhuva Manu, and Lord Shiva were present before Priyavrata. They were accompanied by many other authoritative sages. Brahma first wanted to impress upon Priyavrata that although these great personalities are all authorities, they cannot possibly disobey the orders of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is described in this verse as Deva, which means always glorious. The power, glory, and potencies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead can never be diminished. In the Ishopanishad, the Lord is described as Apapa-Viddha, which indicates that he is never affected by anything materially considered sinful. Similarly, Srimad Bhagavatam describes the Supreme Personality of Godhead as being so powerful that nothing we might consider abominable can affect him. An example sometimes given to explain the position of the Supreme Lord is that of the sun, which evaporates urine from the earth but is never affected by contamination. The Supreme Lord can never be accused of doing anything wrong. When Lord Brahma went to induce Priyavrata to accept the responsibility for ruling the universe, he did not go whimsically, he was following the dictations of the Supreme Lord. Indeed, Brahma and other genuine authorities never do anything without his permission. The Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart. In the beginning of the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said, Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.1.1. The Lord dictated Vedic knowledge to Brahma through his heart. The more a living entity is purified by devotional service, the more he comes in direct contact with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as confirmed in Srimad Bhagavad-Gita. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mamupayanti te. To those who are constantly devoted and worship me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. Bhagavad-Gita 10.10. Lord Brahma therefore had not come to Priyavrata by his own whims. Rather, it is understood that he had been ordered to persuade Priyavrata by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose activities cannot be understood by material senses and who is therefore described herein as aprameya. Thus Lord Brahma first advised Priyavrata to hear his words with attention and without envy. Why one is induced to perform certain acts despite his desire to do something else is indicated herein. One cannot disobey the orders of the Supreme Lord even if one is as powerful as Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, Manu, or the great sage Narada. All these authorities are certainly very powerful, but they do not have the power to disobey the orders of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Since Lord Brahma had come to Priyavrata in accordance with the orders of the Supreme Lord, he first wanted to dispel any suspicions that he might be acting as Priyavrata's enemy. Lord Brahma was following the orders of the Supreme Lord, and therefore it would be worthwhile for Priyavrata to accept Lord Brahma's order as the Lord desired. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Priyavrata is the elder brother of Uttanapad, and Uttanapad and Priyavrata are sons of Swayambhuva Manu. He had 3 other daughters, Akuti, Prasuti and Devahuti. So Priyavrata was the elder brother, Uttanapad was younger brother. Usually the elder one becomes the king, but Priyavrata was not interested in all this, so he was wanting to be a lifelong brahmachari, and he was doing his sadhana in Gandhamadan mountains. Gandhamadhan mountain range. So Uttanapad took over the ruling, and after that there was Dhruva Maharaj, and later on the Uttanapad had two wives, Suruchi, Suniti, and Suniti's son was Dhruva, Suruchi's son was Uttama, and Suruchi, the younger wife but the more impudent one, apparently more attractive, so the king was more inclined to the younger one because of that. Actually, there is a rule in polygamy, Vedic. The rule is that if a man marries more than one wife, and that was done because of religious principles, not because of simply satisfying lust, because women have to be protected by father, then husband, then grown-up sons. So they are not supposed to be left alone. So, and it is not necessary for a man to get married, but it is necessary for a woman to get married. And women are generally more in number than men. That's how it usually is. So all women must get married. So that's why polygamy was allowed in Vedic custom. Of course, nowadays you can't do it by the law, and also anyway you cannot manage. So if anybody has any plans, don't attempt. One itself people are regretting. So Kali Yuga, it is, in fact it is said in Kali Yuga, it will be a man is considered very expert if he can run his family. If he can maintain one family, he is considered a very expert man, very organized, very, pakka, very responsible person, just if he can maintain one family. But this maintaining family was easily being done before. Like even 3-4 generations ago, even 2-3 generations ago, the people used to have many children. But somehow or other they maintain, somehow or other the family goes on. But now with so-called advancement, 1-2 children also is very difficult to maintain. And they are killing many in the womb also. There is a so-called advancement. By advancement, one kills one's own children in the name of scientific advancement, abortion, contraceptive, in this way. So, the rule in polygamy is that the elder, so if a man marries more than one wife, the eldest wife must be the most, he should be more attractive, she should be more attractive to him, and she should be more qualified than the rest. And then the second one should be lesser qualified than the. So in that way, and should be younger also than the first. So in this way there are so many rules. Nowadays who will follow anything? But that polygamy at that time was allowed. So that there will be some order. Otherwise, the younger, and if she is more, she is the favorite, and there will be a lot of politics. When women come together, there will be a lot of politics. So that's why they are kept. You see, brahmachari there is ashram, sannyas there is ashram, and many brahmacharis can be there under one guru, like that. But there is no such thing as many women staying together. There is no such ashram in the Vedic, because they cannot stay together without fighting. So that's why for them the ashram is grihastha ashram, each woman with one man. Like, so in the cases where there is polygamy, there is risk. They may fight. It happened in the case of Chitraketu. Chitraketu had millions of wives. He wanted to have a son, but he could not have. That means problem is his. So anyway, he tried. So when he finally got a son by the mercy of who's Angira I think, Rishi. Then he got a son from one wife. Then immediately she became the favorite of the king, and all the other women got envious, and they killed the child because they could not um, stand that she is the favorite of the king and not we. So in this way, there are things. So anyway, and even we can see in Ram Leela, Kaushalya, son Ram and Kaikeyi's son Bharat, she wanted her son to become next. And so Ram had to be sent to the forest and all these things happened, drama. I mean, of course, it is not that, the problems are caused by two things. Either women or men who are too much attached to women. That is why a devotee should not associate closely with women and with men who are close to women. Too much attached to women. Yoshit Sangi Sangasya. See, there is Mahat Sevam Dvaram Ahur Vimuktes Tamo Dvaram Yoshitam Sangi Sangam. One can attain the path of liberation from material bondage only by rendering service to the highly advanced spiritual personalities. These personalities are impersonalists and devotees. So if you serve the impersonalists, you go to Brahmajyoti. They are also considered in one way Mahatmas, but not very Mahatma, semi-Mahatmas. But so at least there is again transcendental to the material world. So that's why they are considered Mahatmas sometimes. But still they are not as good as devotees, the impersonalists. So whether one wants to merge into the Lord's existence or wants to associate with the personality of Godhead, one should render service to the Mahatmas. For those who are not interested in such activities, who associate with people fond of women and sex, the path to hell is wide open. You see, you see Ramayana, because Ravan was too much attached to women. He was not only Sita, he went to heavenly planets and he raped Rambha also. Yeah, he was raping all women. He went to heavenly planets also and did it. And that time, this Nalakuvara, he cursed Ravan that the next time he approaches any woman and touches her, have sex with her, and that's it, he will die. And that's why he did not attempt to do anything with Sita, Mother Sita. Because otherwise he would have tried. But his Nalakuvara's curse is there. And that's why he did not. He wanted to make her agreeable first. Because if he touches her and have sex with her without her agreement, he will die. That was the curse. He did not mind so much the curses because he thought he was too powerful, but he thought just in case it comes true or so that's why he did not touch. There are some rascals who are saying, that Ravan is better than Ram. Because Ram, what kind of husband he is? He after he won against Ravan, he made her walk through the fire to test her. What kind of husband he is? And although she was so pure, and even when she became pregnant, he sent her away. He never gave her any protection. Why we should worship Ram? Whereas you see Ravan, although he abducted, yes, but he did not touch her. He did not have sex with her. He was so respectful. He was asking her favor to become agreeable. So, and he kept her in Ashokavan, and he was trying to take care of her as nicely as possible. Of course, she was not agreeable, but he was a gentleman. Oh, nonsense. He was only not doing it because he was cursed. Anyway, so those who are Ramayana is an example, and you see the Mahabharata. Again, the center was Mother Sita. Here the center is Draupadi. They tried to see her naked in the assembly hall. Dushasana, another rascal. So what happened? War. So these are the people who cause problems. And nowadays, Kali Yuga, everybody is like this. And the movies are also, they are showing like this. Suddenly one news will come, some gang rape somewhere. Why it won't happen? The feeding of the information and all the input is like that, then output will be like that. You put input khachada and then output you want very nice saint sadhus to come out from that education system and entertainment system. It will not. It's not going to happen. So, and even if it is not so-called rape, and nowadays women also are wanting to try, many different relationships. So this is not culture. This is rubbish. Animal life. Animals also do like this. So yoshit sangi sangam tamodvaram. For those who are not interested in such activities, who associate with people fond of women and sex, the path to hell is wide open. So, Uttanapad, he had 2 wives, so he was attached more to the younger one, and in that way she created offense. And Dhruva Maharaj went to the forest, and he became a great devotee after that. Then he lost interest in his so-called ambition to become the greatest person in the universe. But he still nevertheless was given the chance, and the pole star Dhruvalok is there. But after that, there had to be continuation. And then Maharaj, this Priyavrata, who was the elder brother of Uttanapad, he had to be brought back for ruling the universe. So that was the reason why Brahma came down. Because Narad Muni was the spiritual master of Priyavrata. And Narad Muni, he brahmachari, he is always preaching about brahmacharya. You give up, no more family. So everybody are becoming like that. The 11,000 sons of Daksha also became like that. All sannyasis. 11,000 Daksha produced so that the population can be increased in the universe. All of them brahmacharis. No one wanted. Brahma also had 4 sons, 4 Kumaras. He asked them to become Prajapati, to start population in the universe. They also not interested. They also became, renunciates. So Priyavrata also was a renunciate actually, a brahmachari. So here Brahma came, and Narada is one of the Mahajans, and Brahma is another Mahajan, and Lord Shiva himself came, and Swayambhu Manu came. That's why Prabhupada said in the purport, 4 of the 12 Mahajans were there to persuade him to take up family life. That means how great his determination. Brahma had to come, Shiva had to come, Narada and Swayambhu Manu had to come. Big matter. What is the matter? Get married. So, here Mahajans are telling, don't marry. There Mahajans are coming, 4 of them, marry. So, in the next verse, today's verse is 5.1.11. 5.1.12, I think it is said. Prabhupada explains nicely what to do in such a dilemma, where one Mahajan is saying, don't marry, and another Mahajan is saying, marry. So, what to do? Because both are Mahajans, I cannot disobey anybody. So, I think it is there in the next verse purport. Is it this one? No. Priyavrata might argue, the word Manishaya is 5.1.12 purport, by intelligence is of special significance. That's Sri Radha Madam. Priyavrata might argue that Lord Brahma was requesting him to accept family life and the responsibility for ruling a kingdom, although Narad Muni had advised him not to enter household life and be entangled in material affairs. Whom to accept would be a puzzle for Priyavrata, because both Lord Brahma and Narad Muni are authorities. Under the circumstances, the use of the word Manishaya is very appropriate, for it indicates that since both Narad Muni and Lord Brahma are authorized to give instruction, Priyavrata should neglect neither of them, but should use his intelligence to follow the advice of both. To solve such dilemmas, Srila Rupa Goswami has given a very clear conception of intelligence. He says, अनासक्तस्य विषयान् यथार्हम् उपयुञ्जतः निर्बन्धः कृष्ण संबंधे युक्तं वैराग्यमुच्यते. Vishayan, material affairs, should be accepted. Vishayan, material affairs should be accepted without attachment, and everything should be dovetailed with the service of the Lord. That is real intelligence, Manisha. Becoming a family man or king in the material world is not harmful if one accepts everything for Krishna's service. That necessitates clear intelligence. Mayavadi philosophers say, Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. This material world is false and only the absolute truth is real. However, an intelligent devotee in the line of Lord Brahma and the great sage Narada, or in other words in the Brahma Sampradaya, does not consider this world false. That which is created by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or the Supreme Truth, Satyam Param Dhimahi, cannot be false, but using it for enjoyment is. Yeah. So, mistaking a snake for a rope or a rope for a snake, that is false. But snake is not false, rope is not false. But mistaking one for the other, that is false. That is a misconception. So the material body is not false, it is temporary. But to consider the material body as myself, that is false. So this misidentification and using everything for our enjoyment, thinking that we are the enjoyer, that is false. That's why Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam Gyatva Mam Shantim Richati. How to get peace, how to become peaceful in this world? First of all, we have to understand Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam. Krishna is the enjoyer of everything, not me. When I think I am the enjoyer, that is the illusion, that is the falsity that we have accepted. When I think I am the enjoyer. The Prabhupada wrote one poem, very epic poem. Epic poem means it's not just a small poem, very big. Ashtashtaka. Ashtaka means 8 verses. Ashtaka means 8 sets of 8 verses, 64 verses. So Viraha Ashtashtaka he wrote one thing in 1961, I guess, and there was another Ashtashtaka he wrote. So anyway, in one of them he wrote addressing his god brothers. It's a Vyasa Puja offering to his guru, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. In that he addressed his god brothers saying that you are big sannyasis, you have given up everything material and come to Krishna consciousness. But now, just as you have given up your household life, if you give up the order of the Guru, what kind of sannyasi are you? You cannot give up the order of the Guru. Sannyasis, yes, they renounce everything, but they don't renounce the order of the Guru. Then what kind of sannyas is that? He said, why do you want to become Guru when you are not qualified or when you are not ordered? And hastily, why you are accepting? Unless you have this desire for puja, pratishtha, labha and everything, you want to be glorified. That means what? You want to be the enjoyer and not the Lord. Therefore he wrote, if you have any faith that the Krishna is the Supreme Lord, you should give up your idea of becoming Guru. Because you are wanting the worship, you are wanting to be the enjoyer here. Because you are not ordered by our Guru. So in this way he was saying, so Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam. So whenever we want to enjoy something, it may be gross, it may be subtle. Subtle enjoyment. Like, I may be wanting to be known as a good singer. So I may sing Krishna bhajan, but with the desire that people should glorify me. Oh Prabhu, very nice kirtan Prabhu. Thank you. That's not the idea of kirtan. So we have to do it as a service. But if we have these subtle, these will become bigger if we don't curb it. And I want to become Guru or one as good as God. I want to be praised. And I become angry if I am insulted. If I am chastised maybe in front of others. I may become angry. And somebody doesn't pay attention to me, I'll become depressed. That means I have no locus standi at all. I have no nothing holding me. What is driving me? The acceptance or rejection of others. I'm just living for their, claps. Yes, we should be open to judgment, but from qualified authorities. But otherwise, we should actually always be expecting to be chastised. In fact, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, if nobody chastises you, you chastise yourself. 100 times you hit your mind with broom in the morning, 100 times with chappal in the evening. What is the meaning of beating mind with chappal and broom means? Tell the mind you are rascal number one. What idiot you are. What you are thinking yourself to be. You have to chastise ourselves. Then if somebody chastises, it won't be pinching. You will thank him. Thank you, Prabhu, for reminding me that I am not doing my service properly. That's how we will feel. But if I want to be praised and I don't beat myself up, nowadays Western, don't beat yourself up, you are okay, you are good, all fragile people. No strength of mind at all. Why? Because they pamper themselves too much. I am good, I am great, I am this, I am that. Love yourself. Nowadays the movement, motivational speaker, love yourself. That is exactly what is a conceit means. Conceit means excessive pride. And narcissistic. What is this nonsense? Love yourself. And that's the reason why we are here. I only care about myself. I have zero care for others. Vaishnava is not like that. Vaishnava is paradukha dukhi. He has to think of others. Empathy is the basis of a Vaishnava's dealing. He must understand what is the other person suffering. So, a devotee, he should be open to, especially when the authorities like this Brahma is coming here. Spiritual authorities. And we have to be open to correction. In fact, we have to be more willing for correction rather than praise. Praise is actually poison. Praise is poison. Although devotees will always praise other devotee, but I should not be carried away by that praise. I should think, you are Vaishnava, that's why you are praising, but I don't have any quality. Guru more murkho dekhi, korilo shasan. Who Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said to Prakashananda Saraswati, my Guru saw that I was a great fool and he chastised me. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself is presenting himself as fool. But I am very great, Prabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is fool. No, I am great. So he is teaching how to become a proper disciple. Acharan dasavan nicha. Acharan dasavan nicha means like a slave, menial slave we have to be of the Guru. Menial slave. So here Brahma himself came down and came down to ask him to get married. But this was not simply, oh, you are feeling agitated, okay, get married. Not that kind of marriage. He was not getting agitated. And they had to get him married when he was zero interested in it. And it was for a duty, as a matter of duty. Because he had to rule the world and he had to have successors who would also rule the world according to religious principles. This is right in the beginning, of the day of Brahma. Swayambhuva Manu, the first of the 14 Manus of the day of Brahma. So, at that time, Swayambhu Manu's son, this is Priyavrata. So at that time, the population of the universe was very small. They were not as populated. So the conditions and circumstances were different. And Sahayajñāha prajaha srishtva purovacha prajapatihi anena prasavishyadhvam eshavostvishta kamadhuk. Bhagavad-Gita, Krishna says, Sahayajñāha praja srishtva. See, praja means generations of living beings. Praja. Srishtva, creating. So when these living entities were created, Sahayajñāha, along with that, the process of yajna was introduced immediately. Not that let population come first and then introduce yajna first, then later. No. Brahma came, was born on the lotus coming from the navel of Vishnu. What is the first word he heard? What is the first instruction? There is a verse. This is the first word of the universe. Sachintayand vyaksharamekadambhasi upashrinodvirgaditam vacho vibhu sparsheshu yat shodashamekavimsham nishkinchananam nirupayadhanam viduhu. Nishkinchananam nirupayadhanam. Beautifully mentioned. Sparsheshu yat shodasham ekavimsham. Shodasham means 16th. Ekavimsham means 21st. Ekadasha means 11. Vimshati means 20. Ekavimsham means 21. Sparsheshu. Sparsha means what? Touch. So, if you see our alphabets, Sanskrit alphabets or any Indian alphabets, these are all vowels. Vowels are when there is no touch of the tongue and the palate, the top. Or anyway, the sound from the throat is not obstructed in any way. It comes out. That is a vowel. A consonant is sparsha in Sanskrit. Because it somewhere, ka is the back of the tongue touches the back of the palate. Ka, ga, gha, nga. All of that whole series is there behind here. And then cha, cha, ja, jha, nya. So that one is in the middle with the tongue touching like that. Then tat, tha, dad, dhana. Again middle but the tongue rolled up. It's a touching. And then tat, tha, dad, dhana. Come forward. So just behind the teeth. Then pap, ha, bab, hama is right here. Lips. So from back to the front, if you see all the order, there is a beautiful order. Why it is in that order? It is actually according to the structure of our mouth and where the touch happens. That's why these are all consonants. Sparsheshu. So among the sparsheshu, shodasham ekavimsham, the 16th consonant and the 21st consonant. When they are put together, they become nishkinchananam nirupayadhanam. They become the wealth of the renounced order. What is that? So the 16th one is ta and 21st one is pa. You see kakha gaghanga 5, chacha jajana 10, tatadhana 15, ta 16, shodasham, ta tathadhana, pa 21. So ta pa. That means the alphabets were already there. So when they are joined together, they become the wealth of the renounced order, tapasya. So tapa is the first word heard by Brahma. So sahayajñāha praja srishtva. So when the praja was created, immediately yajna also was there, sacrifice. Tapasya is also a sacrifice. Tapasya means to sacrifice your own sense enjoyment for a higher cause. Tapo divyam, transcendental cause. Higher cause, for example, I want to lift weight, painful, everywhere painful. But tolerate, that is also tapasya. Why? So that I can have better body. I can win some competition or become fighter. Something like this. That is also tapasya. But that is not tapo divyam. It is not transcendental tapasya. Like Gandhi, he fasted for country. That is not tapasya, that is not tapo divyam, that is stupid tapasya. Tapo divyam means for transcendental cause, for the pleasure of Krishna. Our Ekadashi fasting, Janmashtami fasting, festival fasting, this is all minor tapasya, not even very big. So this is tapasya, tapo divyam. So this is the wealth of the renounced order, tapasya. While thus engaged in thinking, Brahmaji heard twice from nearby in the water 2 syllables joined together. One of the syllables was the 16th and the other one the 21st of the sparsha letters, and they joined to become the wealth of the renounced order of life. So in the Sanskrit language, the consonants are divided into 2 groups, namely the sparsha varnas and the talavya varnas. Talavya are actually below that. Yara, lava, all this. So from ka to ma, the letters are known as the sparsha varnas. And the 16th of the group is ta, whereas the 21st is pa. So when they are joined together, the word tapa or penance is constructed. This penance is the beauty and wealth of the Brahmanas and the renounced order of life. According to Bhagavad philosophy, every human being is meant simply for this tapa and for no other business. Because by penance only can one realize his self, and self-realization, not sense gratification, is the business of human life. This tapa or penance was begun from the very beginning of the creation, and it was first adopted by the Supreme Spiritual Master, Lord Brahma. By tapasya only can one get the profit of human life, and not by a polished civilization of animal life. The animal does not know anything except sense gratification in the jurisdiction of eat, drink, be merry and enjoy. But the human being is made to undergo tapasya for going back to Godhead, back home. So for any great endeavor, especially on behalf of the Supreme Lord, you see, when Brahma was perplexed about how to construct the material manifestation in the universe and went down within the water to find out the means and the source of his lotus seat, he heard the word tapa vibrated twice. That means he did not even see the Lord, although the Lord was there, right in front of him. In the lotus, the lotus on which he was sitting came from the navel of the Lord, and the Lord was there, but he could not see. That means we have to become qualified to see. And if we do tapasya, tapo divyam, as instructed by the Lord, then we can see him. Show me God, show me God. God can be right in front, but we cannot see him if we don't become qualified. We cannot see many things like this. Not only the Lord, even higher beings we cannot see. Devatas like this, even hosts we cannot see. Who are not so nice. Still we cannot see them. So, yeah, we can't see the soul. That's why in today's verse the word aprameyam is there. Aprameyam means immeasurable. The Supreme Lord is immeasurable, but the same word was used for the soul also in Bhagavad-Gita, if you see. 2:18, I think. Antavanta ime deha nityasyoktaha sharirinaha anashino aprameyasya tasmadyudhyasva bharata. The material body of the indestructible, immeasurable and eternal living entity is sure to come to an end. Therefore fight, O descendant of Bharata. So immeasurable, aprameyam, we cannot measure. That means it's so small that we cannot measure. The Lord is so big that we cannot measure. We can measure in finite range, that's all. Other things we cannot see, we cannot understand. So, the Lord is aprameya, immeasurable, and therefore sometimes his order may sound or appear contradictory. So this Narad Muni instructed him to renounce, and Brahma is asking him to get married. So therefore, this to solve such dilemma, anasaktasya vishayan. So how come this verse is the answer to this both? How come? Because see, we have to understand that there are three kinds of karma, right? Karma, akarma, vikarma. What is karma? Sense gratification? No. Action that is sanctioned by Vedas. That is karma. What is vikarma? You know that there are three kinds of actions? Never heard before. कर्मण्यपि बोद्धव्यं च विकर्मणः कर्मणो ह्यपि बोद्धव्यं च विकर्मणः अकर्मणश्च बोद्धव्यं गहना कर्मणो गतिः. See, because now there is a dilemma, right? What to do, what not to do. So what is this doing? So we have to understand this thing. So three kinds of actions can be done: karma, vikarma, akarma. The intricacies of action are very hard to understand, therefore one should know properly what action is, what forbidden action is, and what inaction is. Inaction, there is one meaning of inaction which is not acting, another inaction is action without reaction. So, what is these three types of work? Karma is work that is sanctioned by the Vedas, and this is fruitive work sanctioned by the Vedas. Vikarma is fruitive work without the sanction of Vedas. Now, what is fruitive work? What is fruitive work? Prabhupada always used the word fruitive. Fruitive results. Tutti frutti. Prabhu, nice sweet Prabhu cake. Tutti frutti. What is fruitive work? Huh? It's not pious, pious. Pious and impious. No, but why it is called fruitive then? Why don't call it pious and impious work? So, fruitive means that which causes fruit. When you sow a seed, the plant will grow and eventually it will bear fruit and the fruit will ripen. So, our actions are, the law of karma is like this. Any action we do in this world will produce a reaction. Even in Bible it is said, as you sow, so shall you reap. So, if I sow a watermelon seed, I will get a watermelon fruit. So, if I sow orange seed, I will get orange. If I sow apple seed, I will get apple. As you sow, so shall you reap. So, what seed I sow, that fruit I will get. So, every action is a seed sown. So, when the fruit comes, that is when I experience the result of that action. Why sometimes we suffer because of our past sinful activities? Why sometimes we have some comfort? That's because of previous pious activities. So all these are fruits of our previous actions. So anything that produces a fruit in this material world, reaction. So that is why it's called fruitive work. Not that it's a fruity flavor nicely or tutti frutti cake. This is not the thing. We have to understand every word. We have to understand why it is called like that. Why Prabhupada is using that word, fruitive. So, actually, we are Jiver Swarupai Krishna Nityadas. We are supposed to be only serving Krishna without any motive, just for his satisfaction. That is our real state. But now we are in this material world where we have gone against that. We want to be the enjoyer. And all such activity is actually sinful. So how the sinful people like us can be brought back to our original state? So when you are going back to the original state, you will have to transition, right? So transition is not, it can happen. 1 second Prabhupada said is enough to become completely Krishna conscious, provided with 100% surrender. But if you don't, if it's going to take time, then there is a transition period which, like you're at zero, we're at zero here, zero devotion, 100%. Now, it can happen like that. Very rare. Even Dhruva Maharaj, who's one of the fastest, took 6 months. 6 months to. So there is a ramp. You can't like that vertical, 0 time. There is usually a ramp. And it depends on how serious we are. It can be like many lifetimes, Bahunam Janmanamante. Or it can happen very fast within this one lifetime, if we are serious. But there is a ramp. So from 0 to 100, there is a time. So that, how, if I am not completely spiritual and if I am not completely material, where am I? So what is that range? So that is karma. Karma means fruitive actions that will elevate us. Okay, I want to enjoy. I want to enjoy in this material world, right? That is my desire. But Krishna wants us back for our own benefit. Krishna wants us back. But we are not interested. So how will Krishna do now? What will Krishna do? Krishna is so kind. So okay, you want to enjoy in heavenly planets? Okay, there are these different planets I have created. You want to go to heavenly planets? Okay, you do this yajna. You can go there. Okay, I will do. So he is becoming obedient. Actually, he is not really interested in becoming obedient. He is interested in going to heaven. Okay, if this yajna can get me there, okay, I will do this one. So he is becoming obedient. So Krishna is so clever, you see. He is using our nonsense mentality of sense gratification to purify us. We want to enjoy, but he is so kind that, okay, you are a nonsense idiot, but I will make you a little bit more better. So then he will give us his karma kanda yajnas. So therefore, I want to go heavenly planets. Yes, I will do this yajna. So in the yajna, you have to please that particular demigod who is on that planet. And you can only please, demigods are all devotees. They will only eat prasadam. So to offer them the share of the sacrifice, you have to first do the yajna. Yajna, what is that? Fire. Prabhu, nice, Prabhu, colorful, something which is nice, tribal fire. No, we are not having a campfire here. That is not yajna. Yajna is not campfire. What is that? That kunda, the yajna vedhi or kunda, is actually the mouth, represents the mouth of Vishnu. And the fire is the blazing tongue of Vishnu. So when you throw the grains into the fire, we actually, just like here, the other way of doing it is cooking and offering it to Krishna, to the deity. There is another way of offering. And this is another way of offering to the Lord. So we are actually feeding the Lord. So in the Karma Kanda section, so you have to do the yajna. And then that's how Lord Vishnu has to be offered the grains. And then the prasad is offered by mantra to the particular demigod to satisfy him. So now I have given you prasad, so you please give me the facility to go there. It's a bribe kind of thing. Yeah, that's all it is. It is bribing only. So, but at least he has done some Vishnu worship. So the example is given in this way. Children are not very intelligent, right? So a person who is wanting the heavenly happiness, he is also just like a child. He is very immature actually. He doesn't understand the real aim of life. So for them, how you make children do good things? You trick them. Oh, you do this, I will give you this, something like this. That is for children. Adults should understand, I should do this, But child doesn't understand. If he is having fever, you ask him to take medicine, he will. But if you say, no, I will give you candy, you take medicine. Okay. For candy, he thinks the candy is the reward. But actually, if he takes the medicine, his health will resume. That is the actual reward. He doesn't understand that. So similarly, phalashrutiriyam nirnam na shreyo rochanam param shreyo vivikshaya proktam yatha bhaishajya rochanam. Those statements of scripture promising fruitive rewards do not prescribe the ultimate good for men, but are merely enticements for executing beneficial religious duties, like promises of candy spoken to induce a child to take beneficial medicine. The medicine is that he is doing something for Vishnu. And that little bit, neha bhikramanashosti pratyavayo navidyate swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. That little bit, whatever, without devotion, whatever he has done, it will be one small step towards Krishna. It will take many lifetimes, this thing, to come to the stage of pure devotion in this way. But at least he is on the path back. That is the whole idea. So, that is karma. Sanctioned action. Sanctioned fruitive action. So, in the Vedas, all the do's and don'ts are actually this in this karma. And vikarma means completely denying or defying all the Vedic injunctions. Ashastra vihitam ghoram. What is that? 1623 also. Tapyante. Yaha shastra vidhim utsrijya vartate kamakarataha na sa siddhim avapnoti na sukham na paramgatim. He who discards scriptural injunctions and acts according to his own whims attains neither perfection nor happiness nor the supreme destination. So this is vikarma, complete capricious work, completely whimsical, no reference to scriptures, nothing. And then karma is this. Tasmat shastram pramanam te karya akarya vyavasthitau gyatva shastra vidhanoktam karma kartum iharhasi. One should therefore understand what is duty and what is not duty by the regulations of the scriptures. Knowing such rules and regulations, one should act so that he may gradually be elevated. So now in the Karma Kanda section, okay, you go to heavenly planets, all that fine. But then there is Jnana Kanda also. It is supposedly on the borderline of karma and upasana, which is, of course, upasana also means worshipping demigod sometimes. But real upasana means to worship Krishna, which is akarma realm of activities. So there is vikarma, which is completely sinful activities. Then there is karma. Then there is akarma. Vikarma produces painful reactions, sinful. Karma produces seemingly favorable reactions in the material world, but actually, what is really favorable? Heavenly planets, or a good cultured family, birth in a cultured family or a nation, beauty, bodily beauty, intelligence. So these are material advantages, but we can also become intoxicated by such things. So those are the results of positive fruitive activities. So that is in the karma realm. But now in this karma there is also two things: pravritti marga, nivritti marga. Both are sanctioned in the Vedas. But this nivritti marga is edging towards the upasana kanda, which is the complete akarma. Akarma means not that there is no karma. There is karma. There is activity. But it doesn't produce reaction. They are not fruitive actions. When I have an action which I do with a motive, that becomes fruitive, material motive. Ahaituki, hetu means cause, reason. Ahaituki means without a reason, without why am I worshipping Krishna? There is no why, because I am an eternal servant of Krishna, that's it. Not that I am worshipping Krishna so that I can get this. We are not businessmen. I will pay you this one, you give me this one. We are not businessmen with Krishna. Many people try to be that. They will say, oh, I will do this vrata, do this tapasya, and you do this for me. That's not devotee. They will take big vratas sometimes. The other day, one Mataji in Tirupati, she was telling that people in Tirupati, they go up these staircases put kumkum or some turmeric for the steps. Each step they put kumkum something. And some people shave their head. Some people do some different things, sit-ups, push-ups or whatever. I don't know. They do all kinds of exercises. Huh? But they're not interested. So she was actually distributing books, this Mataji. They were doing big vrata, this, doing this, or sometimes they do in Vrindavan. You see parikrama, Dandavat parikrama. Sometimes Ashtottara Sata Dandavat parikrama. So many things. Okay, that is Krishna, something for Krishna. But even then, some people do this for some people just do this for out of their devotion, out of their, this is their commitment. Just like we chant 16 rounds. Like, what is that? Sankhya Purvaka Nama Gana Natibhi. Nati means bowing down. Pranati. So, the Goswamis used to not only have fixed rounds of chanting, but also they had fixed rounds of how many times they have to bow down to devotees. Raghunath Das Goswami's daily quota is 1008 obeisances to devotees. So he will find 1008 devotees and obeisances to them. That is part of his sadhana. That is his, So sometimes people, out of devotion to Krishna, they do, this parikrama out of their own commitments. Govardhan parikrama, so many things they do. But some people come with materialistic motives. I will do Dandavat parikrama. Krishna, you do this for me. You let me go to foreign country and become a rascal there. That is their, what is that? Vrata. Coconut breaking. So their promotion, going to Google CEO. So this kind of nonsense, why Krishna should give? He will never give. So these kind of things is a haituki. There is a hetu. There is a reason why I do. And this Tirupati, they were doing some weird exercises and whatever, their tapasya vrata. So she was distributing books, but they are zero interested. Not at all interested in the book. What is the use? Harim vina tapasya, what is that? Tapasa tatah kim? Aradhito yadi haris, tapasa tatah kim? Naradhito yadi haris, tapasa tatah kim? Antar bahir yadi haris, tapasa tatah kim? Na antar bahir yadi haris, tapasa tatah kim? If we do tapasya and then I am not interested in Hari, what is the use? Shrama eva hi kevalam. I must get this. Vasudeva katha ruchi. You see, dharma svanushtita pumsam vishvaksena katha soyaha na utpadayed yadi ratim. Shrama eva hi kevalam. Svanushtita. Anushtita means, executed in terms of one's position. So if I rigidly follow dharma, the occupational activities a man performs according to his own position, that means what? Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Brahmachari, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyas. According to his position, if he does his occupational duties, does all his rules and regulations he follows, are only so much useless labor if they do not provoke attraction for the message of the personality of Godhead. That Vasudeva Katha Ruchi, we must become interested in Vasudeva Katha. And if we are interested in Vasudeva Katha, there is no need of all this tapasya. Because that is the aim of all tapasya. The aim of tapasya is to come to that stage of Vasudeva Katha Ruchi. And if we don't come there, what is the use of doing all these things? So in Kali Yuga, there is no need of doing anything. Just hearing. Sthane sthita. Stay wherever you are. No need to do big things. But Shrutigatam, this we cannot compromise. People, devotees, sometimes they like this part. Prabhu, is all very strong renunciation. Prabhu, this is very difficult for us householders. Sthane sthita, Prabhu, this verse is nice. We are asking to stay wherever we are, no? Nice, Prabhu, this is sthane sthita only, no? They are only focusing on the two words there. What about the Shrutikatam here? What about this word? Forgotten. Next word forgotten. Sthana sthita is very nice. Shrutikatam, what happened? Shrutikatam means what? Hearing. Hearing Krishna's topics every day. The only way Priyavrata could stay in household life without getting contaminated by that ashram, by that household affairs, is by Shrutikatam. They don't want to take this tapasya, but they are willing to take tapasya of family life. Not tapo divyam, tapo mandam. There is big tapasya, you know. Family life is huge tapasya. But not for Krishna. That one they are willing to take. One finished, divorce, another one. They don't want to stop the tapasya. But when you say, don't do it, oh, that is big tapasya. Don't suffer, no. Suffering is my way of life. So, to come out of suffering, that is big tapasya. Stay suffered, that is comfortable life. What is this? So this is a maya. Maya means that which is not. We accept suffering to be enjoyment and enjoyment to be suffering. That's why people ask us sometimes, "Oh, this kind of life you are doing very tough." I said, "Your life is tough. You are morning night working. I don't have to work. Your work is tougher." That does not mean that tough work means better work. No. Oh, you see, you are not hard working. You are hardly working. One devotee used to be here, you know. He used to say like that. In Bangladesh, so his English is not very. Prabhu, I am very hardly working, you know. He wants to say that he is working very hard, you know. So hard working and hardly working. So actually, you see, there is a nice verse. (8.5.47) क्लेशभूर्यल्पसाराणि कर्माणि विफलानि वा देहिनां विषयार्तानां न तथैवार्पितं त्वयि. Karmis are always anxious to accumulate wealth for their sense gratification, but for that purpose they must work very hard. Yet even though they work hard, the results are not satisfying. Indeed, sometimes their work results only in frustration. But devotees who have dedicated their lives to the service of the Lord can achieve substantial results without working very hard. These results exceed the devotee's expectations. That does not mean the devotee actually becomes complacent. No. You think Prabhupada was complacent? He went to America, this is not hard work. But the devotee does not want to stay idle. That is one of the symptoms of a devotee. What is that? What is that word? No, it's from the Nectar of Devotion. I mean, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. The Anubhava symptoms. What are them? How come I forgot? Okay, wait. 23, 18 and 19. Yeah. Avyartha kalatvam. Yes. What is this? Kshantir, avyartha kalatvam. These are the symptoms of a devotee. And one of them is avyartha kalatvam. He doesn't want to. Vyartha means waste. Avyartha kalatvam. He does not want to waste his time. Kshantir avyartha kalatvam viraktir manashunyata asha bandha samutkantha namagane sadaruchihi asaktistad gunakhyane prítistad vasati sthale ityadayonu bhavah syur jata bhavankure jane. What is the symptoms of a person who is a devotee? When the seed of ecstatic emotion for Krishna fructifies, the following 9 symptoms manifest in one's behavior: forgiveness, concern that time should not be wasted; detachment, absence of false prestige; hope, eagerness, a taste for chanting the holy name of the Lord; attachment to descriptions of the transcendental qualities of the Lord; and affection for those places where the Lord resides, that is, a temple or a holy place like Vrindavan. These are all called anubhava, subordinate signs of ecstatic emotion. They are visible in a person in whose heart the seed of love of Godhead has begun to fructify. Not that National Day was a holiday, we had Kirtan here. Some devotees went to see what? Fireworks. When Jhulanayatra Kirtan is going on here, fireworks. Here what is that? Pritis tad vasati sthale. Tadvasati means who? Where the Lord is staying. You should have priti for that place, not for another place. Harikatha, where there is Kirtan going on, that is the most auspicious place. What is the use of some fireworks somewhere? And that too National Day. It is a day when I have claimed this as my property, not Krishna's property, my property, my country. When we became a thief, celebrating our thiefhood. That is Independence Day, National Day. Now India coming for 15th August. Some people have taken leave to go to the Indian embassy. Yeah, yesterday one person came. 90. I said Janmashtami 90. I will see if I can. Because I already took leave for 15th. I said, why? Independence Day. Yeah. What independence is this? Independence means Janma Karma Chame Divyam Evam Yovati Tattvavit Tyaktva Deham Punarjanma Naiti Mameti Sorjuna. Real independence means come out of birth and death. Independence Day is on 19th August. Sorry, sir. 15th August is not Independence Day. 19th August, Janmashtami is Independence Day. You want independence? Janma Karma Chame Divyam. What is the useless Independence Day you are saying? I told him. What to do? I have already taken. No, you have to do something. You have to come on the 19th. What are you doing? It's not serious. Independence Day is so serious. This is not serious. What is this? All this patriotism, Patriotism means what? I have drawn up the line on a map. Now this is mine. Just one map, draw one line, mine. This is what we are doing. And celebrating. I have stolen it from God. Independence. What are we celebrating? What brain we have? So, real independence means to be completely free from the cycle of birth and death, all miseries. Vishwam Purna Sukhayata. Devotee only can be completely independent, like Narad Muni, anywhere you can go. That is independent. Not like cannot go anywhere, stuck in COVID lockdown. And independent. Independence Day celebrate. They wanted to celebrate during lockdown also National Day. Independence. Where? Lockdown. Stuck in their houses, independence. Celebrating. Where is the, you see, so people don't have, proper thinking. They don't understand. So, avyartha kalatvam, a person who is a devotee, does not want to waste time. That is one of the symptoms. So, it is not that he is complacent. He will be using all his energies for Krishna. But if he used that same energy for material activities, he would have gotten some result. But spiritually, he will get way more result by Krishna's grace. Prabhupada said, my business, when I was a grahastha, I was having a business, and then that business I was cheated. If that business would have become successful, I would have become like a Birla, he said. But then Prabhupada, when the movement became big, he said, Birla, they all have to pay their employees. I don't have to pay any of you. And millions of dollars revenue coming every month. This is our business. But I don't take a single penny. Everything for Krishna. So, book distribution was the business, It was a business. So, but it is not that Prabhupada was, you see, I am devotee, Krishna will give everything. No, endeavor should be there. Endeavor should be there, but we must depend on Krishna for the result. Of course, Krishna to give the result. If he doesn't give, that is also fine. I am engaging myself in Krishna's service. That is what actually matters. That is karmanyavadhikaraste māphaleshu kadachana. People like that verse, and Hindus like. If they know any verse at all in Bhagavad-Gita, this verse, one verse they will know. Karmanyavadhikaraste māphaleshu kadachana. कर्म करो, फल की इच्छा मत करो. अरे फल के लायक भी नहीं हो. You are not entitled to the fruit of the action. Yes, you have every right to perform your duty, but you have zero right to the fruit of the action. That will shake up their entire existence. If I am not entitled, they say, oh, you do your duty, don't expect the result. Whatever result comes, let it come. And when it comes, you enjoy. If it doesn't come, jane do. Next time try again. That is not the meaning. Meaning is whatever you get, every single farthing of that have to be given to the Krishna, to the Guru. Krishna means, again I will speculate. One man like that, I told him that, sir, you are a businessman, you should actually give 50% of your wealth to Krishna. Actually, whatever you have earned is Krishna's property. That's not your money. Yes, I actually offer everything to Krishna. Really? Where? Not one. You are only giving $100. You are making millions. No. Whenever the money comes, I first put it in front of Krishna only. After that, what you do? Take. Prasad. They want to cheat, always cheat. They think they will laugh about it. But he doesn't understand that Krishna also can cheat much better than us. When the time comes, at the time of death, he is the only person who can save. If he says, let me see. If he just says, let me see, next time we'll see. I'll see you next time. What will happen to us? He knows how to cheat. We think we are cheating Krishna. So giving to Krishna means giving to his cause, his mission. And that is explained here. यदत्र क्रियते कर्म भगवत्परितोषणं ज्ञानं यत्तदधीनं हि भक्ति योग समन्वितम्. Whatever work is done here in this life for the satisfaction of the mission of the Lord is called bhakti yoga, or transcendental loving service to the Lord. And what is called knowledge, it becomes a concomitant factor. What is the mission of the Lord? Why does he come? Dharma samsthapanarthaya, to establish religious principles. So that establishing of religious principles he does not only when he comes personally down, but even after he is so-called gone away, he will still keep on sending acharyas, books and devotees. Their mission is ongoing. It's not that Krishna 5,000 years ago, done, finished. He only that time dharma samsthapanarthaya. No. He makes sure that it goes on. So to contribute for that. So Priyavrata was accepting family life, but he eventually he accepts the family life and rules over the kingdom. But this anasaktasya vishayan is important because ultimately this vikarma, karma and akarma. In the karma there is pravritti marga, nivritti marga. Pravritti is when we are, path of attachment, regulated attachment. And nivritti is complete detachment. But actually, anasaktasya vishayan means it is actually transcendental to both this pravritti nivritti. Because we are neither enjoyers nor renouncers. We are only servitors. If I think that something is mine, that is an illusion. If I think that I renounce this, that is also another illusion. It was never mine. And now if I think I renounced it, It is not. It was never mine. That one is, what is the renunciation? Renunciation is the renunciation of false perception that when I thought it was mine, when I give up that, that is actual renunciation. So one can be in family life, but one can be renounced. If he understands that this is not my family, if I think this is my family, that is. But if they are all servants of Krishna, we are somehow or other put together now. But otherwise, everybody is actually a servant of Krishna. So that is renunciation. To give up the sense of proprietorship. We were never the proprietor to give up anything. So we are not enjoyers, we are not renouncers. We are servitors. So in that aspect, that is called anasaktasya vishayan. Asakti means attachment. And if I say I am detached, I am now renounced, I have renounced it. That is also illusion only. It is not our property, it was never our property. It was always Krishna's property, it is Krishna's property, it will remain Krishna's property. Ishavassamidam sarvam. So, my acceptance or rejection of something does not change the fact that it belongs to the Lord. So, even if I do nivritti, say renunciation, like jnanis do, that is still incomplete because I am still not acknowledging whose it is. I am busy in accepting it is mine or rejection from is not mine, but whose it is I am not ascertaining that. And that is a devotee. And devotee, therefore, he is above this pravritti and nivritti, is karma. So that is a karma stage, where he is only. But of course, renunciation is encouraged because it is closer to akarma than pravritti. Of course, better than vikarma is pravritti. Better than pravritti is nivritti. Better than nivritti is akarma. So sometimes some aspects are glorified. It is not that that is the ultimate. It is only glorified compared to the lower one. Oh, you eat meat once a month. That is not a stricture that a Vaishnava should follow. Oh, Vedas say, so I should eat meat once a month. That is for people of that who are eating meat every day. For them, once a month is better off than every day. But one who is not eating, for him eating meat is, so for him it is a lower religious principle, he has to reject that. The direction should always be upward. Not that Vedas say this, so I will sometimes follow this, sometimes follow that, sometimes follow this. Not like this. Direction should always be up. That's why it is said sometimes that all paths lead to the same goal. Whether it is karma, jnana. That is because it is just upward. In order to transcend eventually. But some are not ready, so for them, instead of mentioning the topmost goal, okay, you go and come here first. But that is in the same direction. But for the person who is here, this is not the same direction. You see? So that's why pravritti, nivritti and all this are just stepping stones to anasaktasya vishayan yatharham upayunjataha nirbandha krishna sambandhe. That is the perfect way of acting. Perfect way of acting. Nothing beats that. It is higher than even pravritti and nivritti. Higher than attachment and renunciation. Alright, so I will stop here. Any questions or comments?
Why did Brahma want the devotee to marry and originate the generation? What was the intention and where would the soul come from?
Soul?
Yeah.
Souls are many, waiting to take birth. So, souls are all in the body of Vishnu, Mahavishnu, at the time of destruction. And in the case of night of Brahma, they are immersed in the body of Garbhodakashaya Vishnu. So they are waiting to come out, and all the world had to be populated.
Why?
Why?
Why is that the case?
That is the mission. See, there are many souls. So what happens is, this creation bhutva praliyate. This creation and destruction is happening every time. So when the previous destruction happened, what happens to those souls which have not become liberated, who are still in their karma, sansaric activities, but then destruction came and they are destroyed? Like sometimes flood comes, I am doing something, flood comes and I am die. So what happens to that person? He has not finished his, he is not liberated now and goes back to Godhead. No. What happens to him? So those souls at the end of destruction, they merge into the body of Vishnu, Mahavishnu. When it is universal destruction, all the universe is destroyed. But in the night of Brahma, there are 14 planetary systems, right? 10 of them are submerged within water in the night of Brahma. Only Janaloka, Mahaloka, Tapoloka, Satyaloka are above the water. Until Swargaloka, it is all below the water. The universal water, universe is half filled with water. You know this? So at the night of Brahma, the water rises, the level rises so much, and until the Swargalok, all are submerged. But above 4 are still there. So when the day starts, the water subsides, and then all these planetary systems have to be created again. So he creates all the facility of these planets, all he will create, and then they have to be populated, no? With all those souls who are incomplete in their previous karma, who are merged in the body of Vishnu. So, therefore, these progenitors, the Prajapatis, they are the ones who bring forth the generations of population in this universe. That is his task entrusted to Brahma by the Lord, to not only populate the universe but also teach them the yajna process. Saha yajna prajaha srishtva. So that everybody will become religious, so that the whole population becomes more and more God conscious. That's the whole purpose of this creation. So there are souls, unlimited number of souls, waiting to, take birth. Just the facility has to be given and they will come. They are waiting, they are here only. So that's why he had to generate this population, so that chance can be given to those souls to eventually become Krishna conscious. If they are just going to be merged there, then they are not going to advance. So that's why. And there was no other capable ruler, so therefore Priyavrata had to be instated as the king and generate population, so that his sons can rule again, divide the world, and then they ruled 7 sons. All these descriptions are there. So the Lord actually becomes angry because he has given so much time. Brahma's lifetime is 311 trillion 40 billion years. So actually the Lord experiences frustration that still, after so much of chance, these rascals are just so... What are they here for? I mean, what stupid happiness they are looking for here, and they are just dying for this and trillions of years. So he actually gets angry, and from his eyes the fire comes, and that fire eventually manifests as Rudra, and the entire universe is destroyed. Then after some time the Lord feels again compassion. Okay, let me give another chance. Again creation is made. The Lord also has feelings. But his feelings produce very drastic effects. I mean, mega scale.
So, this cycle has been going on, indefinitely, it seems.
And also, destruction is a time, like Brahma, they all go back to Godhead at the time. Not that eternally he will be there and he is a material world, he can never go back to the spiritual world. So, our death is actually a blessing, because if this body was eternal, we would have been eternally condemned. This is where we will remain, and that's it. There's no going back. So, whereas giving these short-term bodies, so I have first of all a sense of urgency. Okay, let me finish it in this life. So after this life, we can get back that original body. Otherwise, we'll be stuck here. Eternal body means what? So death has to be there.
So in this verse, right, why Brahma said that don't be jealous?
That's actually a good question. I was wanting to elaborate, but just briefly I'll tell. So don't be jealous, because it's not that, hey, Priyavrata, you are jealous, I know, don't be jealous. Not like this. Priyavrata was not jealous. But, so we are actually Matsara. Matsarata is the reason why we came here. We were jealous of Krishna and came. So everybody in this material world is actually more or less jealous. So Priyavrata wanted to remain as a brahmachari. So if Supreme Lord is giving an opposite instruction, so is he my enemy? He may doubt. Like, why is he asking me to do this? Why is Brahma asking me to, get married? What is this? Is he my enemy? Is not a well-wisher of me? Is he envious of me? And when I consider someone an enemy, I obviously have envy for him. So he said, don't think otherwise, that we are against your thing, against your desire. You don't want to get entangled. That will remain. But your position has to change. So you will not become entangled even if you go. That blessing is there, but you have to accept this other position. So because this can also be a sense gratification. I want to be known as a renunciate. Why is he asking me to get entangled? Of course, it's actually a good thing to have, but when the Lord himself says, then there is a special reason. Usually one is always encouraged to give up this thing. When the Lord himself says, like Dhruva Maharaj, after he saw the Lord, he did not want it. But the Lord said, no, you must. But you will not be entangled. So that, even Prahlad Maharaj, he said so many heavy verses against family life and he went into family life after that. But he was never entangled. You see? So only a devotee can actually remain in family life without being entangled. Real devotee. So to show the power of devotional service also, because usually it is devotional service means okay, I have to become sannyasi and that's it. So this is actually encouraging to the householders, because even in household life one can be it is possible. Of course it requires a lot of commitment, but it is possible. So nobody is discouraged. So with devotional service, so in that context it is said. Mm-hmm. Who told who? So alright, we'll stop here. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaur Premananda.